Hopefully you are not making these mistakes when it comes to advising clients in regards to their investment. And I consolidate this list, right, to really help you making sure that you do not make all these 8 mistakes. Again, is if you do make all these 8 mistakes, don't worry about it. There is always a path to clarity. So let me dive in. Why these 8 mistakes is really because I consulted or coached or even trained hundreds of advisors, and I always observe that they like to make such mistakes. It could really be because they are feeling the pressure for wanting the sale or wanting the clients to onboard with them. But again, is do remember one thing. Do you want the short-term commission or do you want the long-term referability of your business, right? And if you do not want the first situation, right, then obviously use these mistakes, right? So mistake number one that many advisor makes when it comes to investing, right, for clients is really they overpromise returns to client. Think of it, the principle to really over here is really try to under promise and over deliver. And again, is that yes, you may tell them that oh, this year they can make X amount of return, but again, is how likely are you able to deliver it consistently over the next few years? Because if you're not able to deliver, guess what's going to happen? Your business is unable to compound, and that's why always be transparent with the things that with the risk and opportunity that is available in regards to your framework, and that enable the client to understand it in total, right? They do, and it also enables you to really manage clients expectation at the same time. By doing so also enable you to compound your business, because you are always on a constant basis trying to under promise and over deliver, and you are the guy that people wants to work with you in the long run. Another thing, mistake number two is really lack of personalized advice. Generally, a lot of advisors out there who are not very good at investing for clients, they always like to give very general advice, such as, hey, it's about investing for the long term, just do a dollar cost averaging, close your eyes, and then just go to sleep, and 15 years later, you're going to see a $1 million portfolio. Not really. Today, clients want clarity. Today, clients appreciate that transparency. So do tailor your wealth accumulation strategy towards the individual needs and want. In other videos I actually mentioned, there are actually 4 stages in regards to an investor's journey. So you look at these 2 case study, right? Number one is this individual is just starting to invest, right? Number two is this individual has invested in DIY platforms and is struggling to really get a consistent return. You realize that both this individual seems like it's a similar conversation, but it can also be totally different. And that's where knowing which stage the investor's journey they are at and educating them and helping them to make informed decision is vital to your business. And mistake number 3 is, like I said earlier on, right? A lot of advisors just give generic advice and they ignore market trends, potential mega trends that I actually shared in my own coaching program. There are 11 of them. And that's why it's very important to stay updated and do not ignore all these trends, right? If you look at 100 years ago and today, right, there are certain industry is no longer available, right? And or certain industry have went smaller. So imagine 100 years ago, let's say automotive is one of the leading industry at that time, right? Why? Because people are traveling using horses, right? Until automotive industry was being established, that was the hottest investment in town, right? But fast forward 100 years later, you realize that car industry, they went through a lot of consolidation. Only some car brands remain. So what's going to happen? So basically, you need to let client know that whether are their investment valid for the next 3 to 5 years, and you need to cater that it's not just today, but in the next 3 to 5 years kind of conversation. Will you still want your client to hold that investment? And these are such conversations that I always keep my clients for. Number 4, sorry for my cough. Number 4 is really poor communication or even poor conversation flow with the clients. It's not just telling them what's happening, right? It's always making sure that clients are in the loop in terms of process, in terms of your insights that you are constantly creating or developing for your clients. Earlier on, right? Making sure that whatever that they are investing at this moment is still valid for the next 3 to 5 years. And that requires a different skill set, right? It's not just finding out what is the best investment today, right? That is like, it's an easy job because why? You just need to click onto the hottest trend, hottest stock pick. You will really know that what should the client, what are the things that are already being broadcasted, the things that are being reported. But again, as I always advise my clients, like again, holding in things shares, right? Would that position be all-time high? So my work, another part of my work is to really find hidden opportunities for my clients. So opportunities that are actually not so popular now, and eventually over time, like 6 to 1 year, it became popular. And that's what happened, right? Recently, one of my recommendation to my community, right, actually make a double. And of course, during that recommendation that I gave might be doubting me, but again, it's always track record, right? Over time, I think you are the guy that I can look for opportunity when there's spare cash in my bank. And that's what you want to do, right? Because if client can find readily information just by googling, right, then how will you be different from whatever the advisors out there are doing now? They are just diving into the media, and let's say like it's one of the hot area that people are investing. But to me, it's a whole different conversation, right? And by having such conversation flow, right, it enables you not just to constantly engage your existing clients, because problems that your existing clients have, right, also leads to potentially your prospect. So those conversations will enable you to sort of nurture your existing client, nurture your prospects or future clients also. So you want to bring them into this nurturing system where they constantly attract to your personality, especially not just your personality. Not that I do not believe in branding, by the way, but I truly believe that as an advisor, right, you need to be competent, right? You need to have conviction in terms of the recommendation that you are giving. And the only way to do that is by journaling. This is another thing that I also do for my clients and even for my advisor today, by giving them quarterly dates or quarterly insights to market trends here on that I talk about it. And then number 5 is really neglecting constant education on your clients, right? Because again, you need to understand that everyone's investing journey is very different, and their understanding of investing is very in different stages also. And that's why we need to really constantly communicate to them, making sure that they continue to stay and make informed decision. And that's the entire process that you want to create with them. And that establish you as the go-to person as an investment consultant. And on top, there's longevity into your business because you become referable. What I always say, right? It's not just the way you ask or how you ask, what you say, and all this. Those are scripts. Important, fantastic. But I think asking this question of how to make yourself, your business more referable over time with assets, with education, with results, I think that is very good, very vital to you to grow your business and scale your business. Then another thing is mistakes number 6, not diversifying, right? And many of time, in diversification is what is a highly debated conversation. Some people say that diversification is for stupid people or for stupidity, is for foolish people. Then another group of people, diversification is very good. Then so which side should I believe? For me, I really think that by understanding the micro environment, at different point of time you want to actually apply diversification, right? And different point of time you actually want a narrow approach to your investment. That is my philosophy. And that's a framework to really understand all this, at which point of time probably we want to allocate more equity, right? Because it means slightly higher risk. Non-equity assets are lower risk. And that's how we normally diversify, right? So we move from more equity means higher risk, right? Narrow approach. Of course, non-equity becomes a risk, right? But that is a very broad way because diversification can also be into asset class, right? Or even sector itself. And do note that diversification sometimes is good, but if you always say that it is always diversification, then sometimes you might miss good opportunities that the trend or the mega trends are having to take note of that. And mistake number 7 that people or advisors have today is really failing to set realistic goals, right? By setting achievable goals, then what's going to happen is you're going to have less disappointment. Your client satisfactory level or ratio is likely going to be higher than most people. And because it is higher, based on the result that you provide and you give them, what's going to happen is you become more referable. And that's what we want. When your business become more referable, it can be a business, or when your advisory become more referable, it become a business over time. And how do you set really realistic goals? It is really in the beginning, right? The first mistake, overpromise return, right? Because you overpromise your return, right? Then what's going to happen? You cannot manage this goal that you actually set in the beginning, right? And that's where this setting of goals, right, have to be realistic also, because not every year, right, we can consistently make X amount of percentage. Why? Because different years there are different macro environment that is making it difficult achieve the alpha that you want to create for client. Alpha is basically return, by the way. In those environment, that's where you need to prepare or preempt your clients about it, right? Don't be in the dark. Maybe this year I might not be able to hit 8%, 10%, or whatever returns thing that you can achieve. Then you don't communicate it out. But you think of it, if you are preventive, means you go ahead and tell your client, stay informed. At least your client knows that you are doing something of it, right? Again, sets you different from most advisor. Because from the work I've done, most of my clients are investing clients. Let's put it this way. And most of my clients are probably like in their mid career stage, right? And most of them will have a financial advisor. But what makes them, to me, they find my investing consulting process works for them, right? By keeping them informed, by keeping them ahead of time. And all those are very important, right? It's really constant communication or constant conversation with them. Whether good news, bad news, just go. Do not avoid bad conversation or bad news, right? Because I truly believe that by becoming a person that is able to actually deliver the bad news or have that position in terms of why this year is not doing well, you actually stand out to them. Why? Because you become accountable, become responsible, you take control of solution for them, and it will anchor you as the go-to person. And most of the time, I always tell those who actually join my coaching program, right, is that session, it is not a question of yes and no, by the way. It's a question of when. And today, right, if you are not equipped to handle such conversation, do consider and ask yourself, will your business be recession proof? Because if it's not, then you are actually just crisis away from destroying your own entire business, right? And probably I do a video about this in future. You understand that why having the ability to invest before a recession comes is so important. Number 7. So 8. So neglecting the reassessment and adjustment, right? Regular assessing them, updating them, regularly sort of rebalancing the portfolio is very important, because client want to know whatever that I'm buying today, can it hold for tomorrow? And in my perspective is 3 to 5 years. And to be able to do that, it's not just finding out what is the market trends now. No, it's to go one step higher, which is what is the mega trend right now. And because it is a mega trend, it's going to set the tone for the next 3 to 5 years, right? That means that client will feel what? Riskier or less risky? What do you think? Answer for yourself. Because if you know the answer is likely to be less risky, then what's going to happen to how your client feel about the asset allocation that you are recommending, right? They feel safer. Safer doesn't mean as good as put in the bank. No. What we want to create that edge over most advisor out there, really develop that mega trends. Identify all those mega trends. From there, we can actually recommend portfolios that obviously they are going to invest more than 10 to 15 years. But every year there needs to be a reassessment of it, right? So for me, every quarter, by the way, because I think that is my skill set, that's my talent, and that's something that I want to do for my advisors who are in my coaching program, and at the same time, people that I am taking care of. If you watch until this point, I really appreciate it. Do support my like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and on the notification bell. And again, I say do comment, do write to me, do DM me the questions you have in regards to really elevating your investment consulting business. And I'd really love to have that conversation with you, chat over coffee, have a chat. So see you again. Bye.